Hello there, it's me, Sari. Today I'm going to share with you some really good news for me and hopefully even for you. It's the premiere of my stamps. I've designed these stamps for Vilda Stamps and I'm really excited. I'm sort of having my stomach filled with butterflies right now because I'm really anxious and I want to share with you all of these goodies. Let me start by showing you the sizes of these stamp kits. The stamps are all in Swedish for this time, but you never know, you might be getting some English stamps later on. So just bear with me on this one. So this set I was thinking of actually making into that sort of project life kind of scrapbooking. So you just have to pay attention to where the stamp starts and ends and so forth. So like this one says that life is an adventure really. And then the same stamp comes in a miniature. And the same thing goes for the other stamps. So there are 4 or 5 different sayings here. And this one says, what a fun weekend, or week, what a fun week. And this one here says, this means everything to me right now. And this one says, finally it's the weekend. And this one says, we were here. And all of these 5 come in smaller sizes. Some of them actually fit into a 1-inch punch, circle punch, so you can make some beautiful things with bottle caps out of them. For example, this one, this means everything to me. And this one also, we were here. And let me just share with you something that I tried out. This is a layout. I'm just going to give you a preview of that one. And I put that saying there, we were here. And it's easy peasy really, but it really does lift the layout up a little bit, I think. So that's the project life and any kind of scrapbooking really. Perhaps even... what's the word I'm looking for now? Art journaling. Perhaps you could use them for that as well. I'm not sure, but some of them, I think you should be able to use them. You could also put them on a card. I have die cut a shape here with one of Cherry Lynn's base shapes and then a wonderful lace shape around it. Life is an adventure. Let's see if I can get all of this going. I also made some different various, well, I made some a couple of tips for you on how to think about these, or perhaps how you could do this when it comes to the project life. Let's say that this is the piece of paper that you're going to have beside your photo. You could of course just keep it as it is, perhaps even pop it up a little bit on top. And in that case you could have this here and you could do some journaling down here. You could also intentionally cut the circle a little bit off. And you could make the same thing with that scalloped circle. And just put that like so. And you could have room for different kinds of journaling things or something like that there. And, well, perhaps you could even put that in the center. You never know. So I really feel like these stamps could make the difference. Here's another way of doing it. I was thinking that you might actually keep it up there, like so, and just leave this as it is, or just do some journaling on it. So I have die cut these, or just punch these out with different punches. So the shapes are all about having fun, I think, and I do hope that these stamps will come to use on some of my projects anyway. Here's another set, and these 2 I haven't made, but I'm just going to show you the other 3 ones. This one says, hearty congratulations on your day. And I did actually die cut it on a heart. And then I colored the centerpiece in with some red distress ink. And I left the white border as it is. And then I thought I'd actually give it a go, die cutting a scallop heart to go about, you know, on behind it, And it does work actually. I do feel like it could be nice. So it's fun to play with the word heart or heartily or hearty. Congrats and such. Let's see, what else have I got here? Well, there's a stamp here that says something about me being late sending a congrats card to somebody. But being late doesn't mean that I have forgotten about that person. I just didn't want that the congrats card get lost amongst all the other congrats cards. So that's a nice way of actually saving yourself from shame. You could actually send that card even a month behind, as I did when I started making this stamp actually. So it's a nice way you could put it in the inside the card really. That's my thought. And then we come to this one. Here's a stamp that says this gift is chosen with a lot of care and consideration. And my thought was that you could actually just put it on a piece of a tag and just wrap a piece of carton like so. You could even use some washi tape if you want to. Use some regular string just to make it a bit more funky, and then you could put your name and everything on the back side there. So this gift is chosen really carefully for you. So I'm hoping that will strike a chord with you. And then I think it's time to move on to that Christmas set. The Christmas set is of A5 size, so it's the half this page, but as you can see the stamps are well spread out on this sheet of paper. And I've got some examples for you to take part and well, you can have a look at them. Here is one of the stamps, and it's this one. Christmas waves its magic wand over this world and makes everything softer and more beautiful. And this is something that I made just to emphasize how it could look with an easy method. And here's another one that says honor Christmas by being on a good mood all year round. And I've started working on something here, and I really do like how the white pops against the craft and the red and the black, and I really am fond of making use of corrugated cardboard, and I just love that really. And these beautiful forms and shapes from Cheery Lynn also makes my day, I must say. And then I've got another one that I thought I'd show you. This one says, do not open until Christmas Eve. Here in Sweden, we have our Christmas. The main day is on Christmas Eve. And I know in different parts of the world it's a Christmas Day. That's the main event. But here it's the Christmas Eve. And I thought that since we haven't got any stamps perhaps that say that, well, there are some, I'm sure. But there aren't that many. I thought I'd make one of those. And to emphasize it even more, I just put a clock in the background, and I'm going to continue decorating this further, but I haven't really had the chance to complete it yet. And there are more stamps here. I'm going to show you two more. Let's see, perhaps even three. You see that there's a Christmas tree here, and I thought it could be fun to emboss it, to use some embossing powder and just melt it with an embossing gun. So I've done it on the front here. I'm going to continue decorating this further, of course. And then I have put this stamp here, wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I thought I'd show you how I usually do emboss. Most people just put the embossing gun on top of the powder, but I have learned that putting it under, you actually have more control of not having the powder spread all over the place. And I also wanted to share with you the magic of this, so just bear with me. It's going to take me a couple of minutes. It's getting hot, I'm telling you. So now the magic starts. Can you see it? It starts from down the right corner. So there you can see the plastic powder melting from the heat. And it's going to give it a really nice finished look. So there it is. Wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And as I told you, I'm going to continue decorating this further. And my thought is also to have a stamp like this, which has something to say about the beautiful Christmas tree standing in our little cottage. And I was thinking that perhaps you could make this into a Christmas ornament or something like that. Perhaps you could have it in white, perhaps you could do something completely different with it. But these are my tips on how I think about these things right now. So I hope you are as excited as I am, and I hope you do dash over to vildastamps.com immediately to have a look-see at them. Alright, I'm going to sign off right now. Bye bye.